is Burke. Life here is amazing. Dragons used to be a bit of a problem, but now they've all moved in.
Did I tell you that you look amazing today? Because you do.
And with Vikings on the backs of dragons, the world just got a whole lot bigger.
This is amazing!
Hey guys, C-Ranger5, a bit of a different recording location. I'll try and get back to my older one as soon as I can, but for now, this is going to be the recording location. This is the impressions for How to Train Your Dragon. How to Train Your Dragon 2. It is fantastic. I'm debating whether it's better, or it's as good or better than the first one. But I guess I'll talk about the first one, because you can't talk about the sequel. Let's talk about the first. How to Train Your Dragon was a kick-ass movie. It's one of my favorite Dreamworks films, without a doubt. What I like about it, I love the world. I love the flying scenes are incredible. The animation's incredible as well. It had a kind of a predictable story, but I don't really mind that as long as the execution is good. And for How to Train Your Dragon, the execution was fantastic. It felt like I was hearing the story of, you know, the misunderstanding father. Like, not everything is as it seems with these creatures and everything. It was done really, really well, and I felt like I was hearing it for the first time. So, while it is a predictable story, I don't really think that's a bad thing, as long as it's executed well. I mean, I love Avengers. I love Avengers a whole lot, and How to Train Your Dragon, it's also fantastic. Despite the predictable story, that doesn't matter. That doesn't detract from anything. It is still a fantastic movie that I'd recommend you watch. I have also seen the Dragons Riders of Burke cartoon, which I know a lot of people hate, just because it took up this time slot of Young Justice. Really, is that a reason to hate a show? Okay, whatever. I'm not gonna go into Young Justice because then I'll just get pissed off. But, yeah, Dragons Riders of Burke. It's a pretty decent show. You know, it's not as good as the movies, obviously, but it is still a fun, nice distraction. It's a nice show. I do like it. I've seen all the episodes. I hope it doesn't get canceled, though, because I really like to see what they can do with when they explore. I really like to see what they can do with the show, too, because this has a lot of potential. I'd like to see how the show is going to continue after this movie, especially, like how, you know, how that show could connect with the ending of this film in particular. But anyway, let's talk about the film. In this one, How to Train Your Dragon, you know, pick up his back with Toothless, and he's traveling the world. You know, everyone, Burke and you know, humans and the Vikings and dragons are living together. And now that everybody has a dragon now, big thing to do now is, well, explore the world, find other dragons, find other places you can go, you know, explore. And that's what this film does. There's a lot of locations in this. It really does expand on the universe really well. That's what I think the show does well too, is there's a lot of places explored in that. And I really like that this film does the same thing as the TV show, in the case that it really does expand on the world. And I think that's a really great thing. The TV show did it well, this movie does it well. Just the first film, you didn't really have much to explore, but you know, they were setting up things, and that was fine by me. I still think the first film is fantastic, but this film definitely has a much bigger world. In fact, that's the thing about this film. It's much bigger, it's much grander, there's more to explore, it's darker. You know, it's definitely darker than the first film. Villain, I think, is, well, the first film didn't really even have a villain, to be honest, and unless you sort of count the father, but he wasn't really a bad guy. But whatever. But the villainess actually is pretty interesting. Kind of weak, but still interesting. I'd like to see more of him, though. That's the thing. Luckily, he doesn't die at the end. Spoilers. So, I think it's safe to say we're going to see more of him, possibly in the TV show. Pretty much, Hiccup and Toothless are exploring, and all the while they come across these people known as dragon snatchers. Well, I don't know if they were called that, but that's pretty much what they are. They're dragon snatchers. They throw nets at dragons and they capture them for a evil person's army. And this evil person, I forget his name. I forget his name. I just saw the film and I forget his name. Future me, put it right somewhere, like in annotation or something. Maybe his name. I'll edit it in there. Anyway, pretty much, he is building a huge dragon army to use it to conquer lands and, pretty much control all the dragons. And he is also using a humongous dragon known as the Alpha Dragon.
Come on, bud! Hold on! Distract the Alpha.
Have a nice flight!
Uh-oh.
That is what it's called. And it's one of those really, really huge dragons. And I think that was the big dragon in the first film. That's what it was called. It kind of expands on the first film a bit too. Explains that big dragon at the very end. All the while, Hiccup meets his mother. His mother and father get reunited once again. And they find out about the mother's past, and that's pretty much the basis of the plot. There's a lot more to it than that, but I'm not going to spoil it I'm not going to go into too much more into it. Like, I am going to talk about a certain twist that happens. Well, not really a twist, but a certain death that I know is going to be, it was a really big surprise for me.
There's a whole other world of dragons out there. Unbelievable. What do you say? What should we name it? Itchy Armpit it is.
Well, first off, the animation is incredible. The CG animation is just breathtaking. It really does. Sometimes it looks like live action. That's how good it looks. It almost looks real. Well, as real as it can be. But it really does look amazing. The atmosphere is great. The world is great. The animation is just so beautiful. It's a step up from the TV series, obviously. It's a step up from the first movie, and the first movie even had fantastic animation. Like, this is a technical achievement, ladies and gentlemen. So, definitely, without a doubt, see it in 3D. I didn't get to, sadly, because they didn't have, the theater I went to didn't have it in 3D anymore. But, God, for the love of God, see it in 3D. I'm sure it's fantastic. The flying scenes are once again incredible, just like the first film. Especially, I'm guessing that if you're watching it in 3D, you're gonna feel like you're on the dragon yourself. You're flying. You feel yourself flying through the air on top of a lizard with wings. It's just incredible. Incredible. The soundtrack's definitely a step up. I love the soundtrack of the first film. I love the soundtrack of the TV show. The soundtrack is even better here. I will say that. It's even better than the first film. That's how good it is. The main theme is especially great. It just has a whole lot of atmosphere to it. Just so amazing. Definitely get the soundtrack if it comes separately. It's gonna come separately, but get the soundtrack. It's fantastic stuff. That's actually what I stayed. That's why I stayed at the end credits, just to hear that fantastic soundtrack, which I don't normally do, but it is great stuff. Great stuff. Anyway, there's one little tragic twist that I will talk about, and then I'll end this. Kind of a short video, but when I said the film's a lot darker, it really does take a lot of risks. And for a kid's film, that's fantastic. I love that it takes so many risks. Stoic, a major character, actually dies in this film. His death was emotional. It was really, really surprising. I did not expect that. They even kill a dragon in this. It's a powerful scene. The emotion is great. The way they handled it is really good. I almost shed a tear, almost. I'm not gonna lie. It really was just a powerful scene. It was surprising. It was powerful. It kind of reminded me of Mufasa's death, because that was also very similar. It was powerful. Some of the themes and the morals are actually kind of similar to Lion King. I'm not gonna say it's ripping off, because it's not. But it's kind of similar when you think about it. The themes are about taking responsibility, rising up, becoming a leader, and everything. Kind of like Mufasa did in Lion King. And I really like Lion King, and I really like this film. So, it's just incredible. Really, it is. With great animation, a great story, great characters. Some of these side characters are a little wasted, kind of like in the first film, but you know, they're explored within the show a bit more, so I don't mind. The animation soundtrack is awesome, atmospheric, breathtaking. It really is just a fantastic movie, and I would totally recommend that you see this film. It is one of the best films I've seen all year. So with that said, I'm the C-Man235, signing out. See ya.
What happened here?
What could have done this?
I bet you think you know a lot about dragons. Let me show you some of what you don't know.
Should I know you?
No. You were only a babe. But a mother never forgets.
Unbelievable. You've been rescuing them.
Something is coming. Something you've never faced before.
The dragons are mine now. Protect our people. It's your destiny.
What you're searching for? It's in here.
Come on! This is very dangerous!
Are you kidding me?
Come on, Toothless!
Dragons and Vikings! Enemies again!
Oh! Ah, you know that doesn't wash out.
2014 is looking to be a really awesome year for movies. I mean, we had X-Men: Days of Future Past, How to Train Your Dragon 2, Captain America: The Winter Soldier, 3 fantastic films. I can't wait to see what's coming up next.